Hi everyone, happy Saturday. Welcome back to our Clues by Sam. I'm late again today. I'm sorry about that, but I had to go hiking again this weekend. I just had to go. I have to leave the house. Otherwise I'm gonna go insane. Winter is my favorite season and it's been some cold but beautiful days here. Last time I didn't post pictures or I didn't show you pictures at the start of the video. I'm gonna put some here just so you get an idea of where we have been going to. But we did everything we wanted to do this time, so I'm gonna get back to my routine after this. But it was really nice. I had a lovely day, and I've been driving. Is like three and a half hours of a drive there, and then three and a half back. So a long way, but a very nice journey to the park and a very nice hike. Recommend to everybody. I don't know if anyone from here uh, would watch this video, but if you're in the south of Brazil, I do recommend going to Cambará. It's the name of the city. Anyway, let's get to the puzzle if you're new here. Clues by Sam is a daily puzzle and it gets harder along the week. So today we have a hard one. There's 20 people. We gotta figure out who is a criminal and who is an innocent using the clue that they give us. So let's see how hard this is today. If you want to play along, the link is in the description. I'm gonna explain my logic as I solve. We start with Donna telling us that Sam is one of 8 criminals on the edges. Where's Sam? Sam is a criminal. There's 14 people on the edges. 8 of them are criminals, which means 6 innocents. Math. It's always math. Sam now says that only one of the 6 criminals neighboring Lucy is above Kita. So, Lucy is above Kita. And the only other person above her who could be a criminal is Hilda. So she has to be, and now we also know that Lucy has 6 criminal neighbors and 2 innocent ones. Hilda says that both innocents in row 5 are connected. So in row 5 there has to be 2 innocents and Xavier is the only one who is connected to anybody else. So he has to be one of those innocents. And the other one is either Thor or Zane. So we tag them as such, opposites. Xavier now says that each column has at least 3 criminals. We need column C to have 3 criminals. It currently only has 1 and it needs 2 more. There's only 2 people left, so those 2 have to be criminals as well. Now Lucy has 2 criminals neighboring her, so we keep track of that. Lucy says there are exactly 2 innocents below Chase. So that means that Chase has to be a criminal because there's 4 people below Chase. If 2 of them are innocents, 2 of them are going to be criminals. If column B needs 3 criminals according to Xavier, then that means that Chase is a criminal. So we get that from Lucy's clue, like it's talking about people below Chase, but we figure out what Chase is. So it's important to pay attention to that. Kita says that row 3 is the only row with exactly 3 criminals. So now we're talking about rows. Row 3 is going to have 3 criminals, right? What do we know? I guess I'm gonna look at Chase's clue just to see if I get anything else. And not number of innocents on the edges neighbor Xavier. So Xavier has 3 people on the edges neighboring him. And 2 of those are opposite, so that means 1 innocent. If Raul, the 3rd person, were to be an innocent, he would be the 2nd innocent neighboring Xavier on the edge. And that's 2, an even number. So we need Raul to be a criminal. Now we know. We know something, do we? I guess we don't need Chase's clue anymore, so we click on it. Raul says that 3 of Gunny's neighbors on the edge are innocent. So Gunny has 5 people on the edges neighboring him. 3 of those 5 are gonna be innocents. So far there's only 1. So that means that here in column A neighboring him, there's gonna be 2 innocents. We don't know who those are, but we know there is gonna be 2 people who are innocent and 1 criminal. And we also know that column A needs 3 criminals because each column has 3 criminals according to Xavier. So Olga here, who is not neighboring Gunny, in column A has to be a criminal so we can have 3. And we still don't know who is the third criminal in that column. Raul doesn't tell us the total for Gunny, so we don't need that clue anymore. Olga says there's only one instant to the left of Lucy. Oh, we also know that Petra has to be a criminal, right? Because Kita says that row 3 is the only row with 3 criminals. So if Petra in row 4 were to be an instant, row 4 would also have, that's a tongue twister, row 4 would also have 3 criminals. So we need Petra to be a criminal so it doesn't have 3. Now Lucy has 4 criminals neighboring her, so it thickens the plot. Olga says there's only one instant to the left of Lucy. We've read that, but now we know that Julie and Katie are opposites. So we tag them as such. And since we know that row 3 is going to have 3 criminals, and now Lucy is one of them, and either Julie or Katie are the second one, we need a third person to be Martin. So we don't need Olga's clue anymore. Martin says there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Kita. So Kita so far has 4 criminals, but she's gonna have 5 with the neighbors that she shares with Zabi. And 5 is an odd number. Beyond that, she only has one more neighbor, Katie, and if Katie were a criminal, Kita would end up with 6 criminal neighbors, which is an even number. So Martin is telling us that Katie is an innocent, which makes Julie a criminal. And now we know that Austin and Flora both have to be innocents, like we have theorized earlier when we knew that Gany had to have an odd number of innocents neighboring him on the edges. So both of these people are innocents. Lucy has to have one last innocent neighbor here in row 2. So we know that Gunny and Ivan are opposites. And Julie says that only one criminal in row 1 has a criminal directly below them. Well. It's either gonna be Chase or Eve. But either way, the thing is that Gunny could be a criminal, and then Chase would have a criminal below him, and then it doesn't matter what Eve is. So it doesn't mean that these guys are opposites, first of all. Second of all, we know that Gunny and Thor are opposites, right? Because we need the third criminal here in column B. And that makes Ivan and Zane opposites as well. But is that what's helping me? Ooh, I remember now that there's 8 criminals on the edges. So how many do we have so far? We have Chase, Julie, Olga, and Sam. That's 4. Martin and Raul. That's 5. 6. We're gonna have a 7th one here in row 5. So that means... does that mean that Eve is a criminal? There'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if Zane is an innocent, that makes Ivan a criminal. Let me double check this. Gunny being a criminal, because I think I'm pretty sure that these guys are all opposites, like an X-wing. But I just want to make sure because I don't want to get any yellows today, right? We do that? Yeah. So X here, and if we make Gunny an innocent, the X goes the other way. So yeah. But in this case, our 8 criminals on the edges are made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we couldn't say that Eve has to be a criminal. What's telling then? If this is the config we go with, if Ivan is a criminal, then we couldn't have a criminal in row one with a criminal below them, because Eve couldn't be a criminal in this scenario, since our 8 criminals on the edges are already done. So Eve would be an innocent, and now we don't have a criminal in row one with a criminal below them. So we know that Eve. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? I think we know about everybody, so it doesn't really matter. But it's the opposite here. And that makes Eve a criminal, so we can have 8 total criminals on the edges, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So that was really good. I really like it. I didn't rush, and I made sure to double check there that the X-Wing was X-Winging because I didn't want any yellows, but I'm pretty happy about that, pretty proud of it. I really like the puzzle. It was very simple, so no new mechanics, no new types of clues. Some things you gotta really exercise paying attention to, like the thing I said at the beginning where I might have to close this again to check the puzzle. Like Lucy's clue, where it talks about people below somebody, but what we find out is the role of that person who's not being directly talked about. So really important to be like on the lookout for that. Really nice puzzle. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna have dinner now and get some rest. And I'll see you tomorrow. So, oh, happy 4th of July for the people who are celebrating. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.